Recent presidential polls show Joe Biden making gains in the Midwest.
So according to an ABC News Washington Post poll, Joe Biden leads President Trump by 7 points in Michigan, and that is the home state of our next guest. But most Democrats are saying it is way too soon to let the guard down, even with those margins. Award-winning filmmaker and host of the Rumble with Michael Moore podcast, Michael Moore, the one and only, is here to talk about the final push for Joe Biden. Great to see you, Michael.
Good to see you, Michael.
Good to see you guys. And let me just say, it's awful news that Biden is ahead by 7 points in Michigan. And I have to fight against this constantly. I need to remind people that the poll back in July said at that point that Biden was ahead in Michigan by 16 points.
Right.
Trump has cut that in half. Trump has tightened virtually every one of these swing states to the point where are they saying this morning? It's 5 points ahead. Trump Biden's 5 points ahead in Wisconsin. He's maybe 3 to 5 points ahead in Florida, 2 points ahead in Arizona. Listen, don't believe these polls, first of all. And second of all, the Trump vote is always being undercounted. Pollsters, when they actually call a real Trump voter, the Trump voter is very suspicious of the deep state calling them and asking them who they're voting for. And it's all fake news to them, remember. So it is not an accurate count. I think the safe thing to do, this is not scientific, I'm just saying from my experience of being a Michigander, whatever they're saying the Biden lead is, cut it in half right now in your head. Cut it in half, and now you're within the 4-point margin of error. That's how close this is. That's how desperately close this is. And when you see the Republican running for Senate in Michigan almost tied with our incumbent Democratic senator,
right?
What is this telling us? And I've pointed out to people too that when he 10 days ago when Trump had the big rally in Muskegon, Michigan, Muskegon County over on the west side of the state on Lake Michigan, only 2 counties go up and down the whole state of Michigan. Only 2 counties voted for Hillary on the west side of Michigan in 2016. Muskegon County was one of them. Trump chose not to go to a Trump county because he won the state, if you remember. He went to a Hillary county and had thousands of people there.
Literally thousands, yeah.
Yeah. So, people keep asking me, well, what do you think is going to happen? Because they want the Cassandra, because in 2016, I don't know how many months it was, 4 months, 5 months before the election, I said that Trump's going to win, and he's going to win by winning Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. And that got me no free entrances to any casinos, by the way. So it hasn't done me any good. But now they expect me to know what's going to happen next Tuesday. And, of course, I don't know. None of us know. But I wake up every morning with the assumption that Trump believes he's going to win. And that's good enough for me. If he thinks he's going to win, then I think he's going to win. And I'm going to act every minute of today and the rest of the day until I fall asleep after midnight. I am going to be working to make sure he doesn't win, because he thinks he's going to win. And I know he's an evil genius, and he's smarter than all of us. And I know people hate to hear that, but I'm sorry. To win the White House by losing the election, that's genius. I don't know how to do that. If I had told you 5-6 years ago, hey, you guys, I'm thinking of running for president. Now, here's my plan. I'm going to lose the vote, but I'm going to win the election. And you'd look at me like, okay, Mike, what are you smoking? So that's how serious I'm taking it. And I'm not just doing that as an exercise, like you said at the beginning, we must all stay on our guard. Anything could, no, he's already done it. He's already fooled everybody. And everybody must act right now as if this could happen again. And if it does happen again,
so Michael, let me ask you this, which is that what have you seen from Joe Biden, which is both effective and not effective in that state of Michigan? What is he doing that's better than Hillary, and what is he doing that's maybe similar? Well,
until the announcement last night, he's been doing pretty much what Hillary did. He's come to Michigan a couple of times, but he hasn't, for the last 10 days, I've been putting out there on social media and saying that, where's Joe Biden? Why isn't Biden coming to Michigan? Remember Hillary not coming to Michigan, not going to Wisconsin? Why is Pence here in Flint the other day? Why is Trump in Lansing, Trump in Muskegon, Trump everywhere? Where is Joe Biden? And then, of course, last night, the beautiful news came through that on Saturday, Biden and Obama, together again for the first time, are coming together to the state of Michigan. Thank God. So I think Biden, there was that article in Time Magazine a 3 weeks ago about how there's no ground game for Biden. They just made a decision to not, I think obviously for safety reasons, not to knock on doors. But it's really, I'm sorry to be on such pins and needles here, but I think we have to be, even though I can make the argument that Donald Trump is about ready to get the ass whooping of a lifetime, and that this election could be a massive tsunami, a landslide in favor of Biden and against Trump, and all will be well in the universe. So
if that is the eventual outcome, what will be the reasons? What will we look at as the factors as to why?
You mean if there's a tsunami against Trump?
Yeah.
The obvious factors are that the whole country is sick and tired of Donald Trump. Number one. Number two, he has killed. Let's give him the first 50,000 of the virus. Maybe that would have happened anyways. But he's killed almost 200,000 people through. I don't call it ineptitude or inaction. Not since the Bob Woodward tapes. He admitted back in February that he knew this was a killer. He said, "Bob, this is a killer. This is a plague." He said, "Bob, it's airborne. It's airborne."
Right.
The mainstream media refuses to use that word. They've refused to use it for the last 7 months. Now they're using it only because, it's in the Bob Woodward tapes. But I think that people know and they see now this second wave coming of death and destruction. And there's no way, even though they agree with him, even though they love his racism and they love his whole wackadoodle way of looking at the world, they want their moms and dads and their grandparents and their kids to live. That's pretty common amongst most people, regardless of their politics. So he could have taken the reins of this back in February. He could have taken it and been a hero. It was like a gift almost. Here's this pandemic, and you could be the big leader to stop this, to kill this. He could have said to himself, he could have said to us, "Hey, we don't know, this is new. We don't know yet what to do. We're going to get the scientists and the doctors that work at this. All I know is this. This is a virus that you can kill with 20 seconds of soap and hot water." If I could get rid of the things I'd like to get rid of in my life with just 20 seconds of soap and water, man, I'd have a much better life.
So, Michael,
but yes.
Well, just one last question as clarity here. So in 2016, you, much to the chagrin of everyone, and I really don't think that a lot of liberals have forgiven you for being right about Trump winning those states, by the way. But
I wanted to be wrong.
I know you did. I know that you did. And so you made this bold prediction, weighs out, end up being right. This time around, it feels like you have a little less clarity about, you feel like this could kind of go either way. It could end in a Trump squeaker again, or it could end in a Joe Biden sort of landslide. Am I hearing you correct on that?
Yeah, I think that, yes, because I think that's really the only position you can take at this point. Anybody who thinks they know what's going on doesn't really. And so I can say that from what I know in Michigan, it's not as wide of a lead as the polls have said that it is, and we should treat it with serious caution and have serious respect for our enemy. The way that Patton looked at Rommel, he read his book and he respected his enemy, and that's how he defeated him. To just laugh Trump off and just say he's an idiot and he's a douche and he's whatever, that's not how we're going to win. Yeah. We're going to win by being smarter than him and being 2 steps ahead of him. Right now, as we sit here, Trump is already in the process of enacting his plan with his evil minions. They have got something cooked up in the next 5 days that because we're not evil geniuses, we might be somewhat geniuses, but we're not evil, so we can't imagine what he's got going. But he will have something going. He's already. I'll tell you what I've already heard from a member of Congress actually told me this, that Bill Barr, by the way, blessings to Mr. Barr, and I hope you recover from COVID as soon as you can. We haven't seen you now for a good, 10 days or so. And I don't mean that facetiously. I don't want anybody to be sick, and I don't want anybody to die.
Yeah, to be clear, I don't think he has coronavirus, or at least nobody said he has coronavirus.
Oh, no, nobody.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. I was saying his name because I'm going to tell you what he's up to.
Okay.
What I think he's up to, what I've heard he's up to with Trump. And then I just thought, where is he? How's he going to enact this plan that I heard about? But basically, one thought is that the Justice Department is going to go send federal marshals. The FBI won't do it. They're going to send federal marshals into Pennsylvania on election day, on election night, and they're going to seize the ballot boxes, the hard drives, and they're going to take control of them and bring them back to D.C.
Michael,
because
we haven't seen any reporting or anything to that effect. We should be very careful about theories like this when floating.
Yeah,
I'm not disputing that you can think that, but I just want to be clear.
I do. All right, let's be clear about this. You know that they are evil geniuses, that they have a plan. They do not intend to allow the people of the United States to remove him from the White House. He's already said this.
I don't know if I do know that, actually, Michael.
Oh, really? He's told you that he's not going to trust this election. He's going to take it to the courts. He's not going to leave the White House, and he's demanding now that the vote cutoff has to happen at the end of the day on Tuesday. He's said this now, day after day after day. If you really seriously, I have to ask you with all due respect, after 4 years, if you still have a hard time believing that the worst can happen, because every time he does something and we all say, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he did that. And then he does it. And then we're all like, what do you mean you can't believe? 4 years of this and you still don't believe?
I think I accept. We very much accept the validity of your view. I just want to make sure we present accurate information here and we don't float any any theories or ideas that haven't yet materialized. And if it does happen, we'll have you here on the show. I promise.
I think that is so naive to think that for us not to have a legitimate discussion as adults. What are they planning? What are they doing? Let's be prepared for whatever is going to happen on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. We all need to be thinking about that. And we need to be discussing, well, what if that happens? And what if that happens? Or what if that happens? Yeah. That's all I'm bringing up here.
I think that's fair. We just don't want to put float anything out there that we don't have the facts on, as fact, not as they could do this or they could do that.
I know.
We want to be careful about making sure that people know what the truth is and what is a speculation.
And 4 years ago, I had no right to say he's going to win Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania because the vote hadn't happened yet. So how was I allowed to say that? In fact, when I did say it, and I first said it on Bill Maher, I was booed by the audience, and I was told subsequently by people such as yourselves, Mike, you can't say it. There's nobody that agrees with you on this. Nate Silver, the front page of the New York Times on Election Day in 2016 said Trump has a 15% chance of winning today.
You're right.
All right. And he's the scientist. I'm not the scientist. I'm not a pollster. I don't know. I did not know when I said on the Oscar stage back in 2003 that we're the fifth day into this war and they will find no weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
What do I know? I'm not a weapons inspector. What do I know?
You're right about that too, Michael. Like I said, if you
don't have this discussion about the possibility of what might be going on, then we get caught. We go, oh my God, look at what he's doing. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Well, we guarantee you will be back here on this show if such a thing happens, Michael, and we really appreciate you joining us today. Thank you.
Great to have you, Michael.
Thank you for letting me say my piece. I really appreciate it.
Always.
All right.
Next on Rising, we're going to talk to the contender running against House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. That one, Rising continues.